morning, everybody. It's about like 5:30 right now. Been up since 3 a.m. Getting the shop ready. Did my little exercise. Cleaned up the house a little bit. Kids are still sleeping. One thing about waking up in the countryside in the morning, early like that, I can look up and see a whole bunch of stars because there isn't much light pollution. So I can see like a lot of the different constellations. There's some, I think that's like a condor or something. Like, so there's a pair. I don't know if you guys see it. Yeah, you might not be able to see it. My camera doesn't zoom that far. It's okay. Well, the sun isn't coming. It hasn't come up yet, but it's okay. So I usually exercise in my shop because it's nice and flat. It's smooth. It's quiet. I jog in there. I do push-ups. Do sit-ups. Just gotta take care of your body, you know, as we age. Don't want to end up regretting anything later on. I just like it in here because it's nice and. This is where I jog here. I exercise, you know, do all kinds of stuff. I don't go jogging out on the road because here in Cambodia, in the countryside, dogs are free to roam. So if I was to jog, I would get chased. So I don't do that. I'd rather just exercise in my shop here. It's a lot safer. Notice that I've gotten a lot of new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing. I don't have much to say or brag about. It's just that I'm sharing my experiences here in Cambodia for everybody to see. And I think, yeah, there's one subscriber who was asking me about how it feels to transition from living in America single to Cambodia, and not just in Cambodia, but to the countryside, being married and being content with everything. So the first thing that happened when I came, okay, let's talk about culture shock, right? As soon as I came once I got off the airport and landed and stepped out onto the streets of Phnom Penh, the first thing that I noticed, is that there's so much noise. Like, it's a whole bunch of chaos. You can hear like everybody honking. The roads are filled with all kinds of different types of vehicles, like motorcycles. They had trailers. They had all different types of weird, you could say like transporting vehicles that they put together, like they welded together from like used other vehicles, you know, and just crazy looking vehicles, like Frankenstein, you know. And you know how in the States to honk at something, there's something wrong. That's when you honk, right? But here in Cambodia, they use the horn to let people know that you know, to get out of the way or whatever, and it's normal to honk all the time. Then so is the noise, the chaos, you know, and what else? The way that they were driving on the road. I was like, man, what is going on? Because they drive on the right side of the road also, but they don't stay in their lane. So you can see that there'll be like two lanes, right, in the city, but they're not staying in their lane. They're weaving in and out from left to right, you know? And I couldn't understand that. Like, don't you guys stay in this, you know, your own lane and just keep going straight and signal when you want to change lanes or whatever? But they don't do that. What they do is they go with the flow of traffic, because there's so many different types of vehicles and motorbikes that are on the road that they can't just stay in their own lane. They gotta avoid hitting each other. So when they do drive or ride, they're weaving left, right, all the time. And I had to get used to that. So if somebody from the West came to Cambodia and it's their first time, they'll be hit by culture shock with how people drive, right? And if you have road rage, I would not recommend you to ride a motorbike or drive right away until you got used to the traffic. And even crossing the road is it's difficult because you know how in the States, right, when we cross the road, as soon as we as pedestrians try to cross the road, the vehicles will stop for us. But here, they will not stop for you. So what you'll have to do is you have to go with the flow of traffic. So it took me a while to learn how to cross the road, but to cross the road, you'll have to go with the flow of the traffic, right? Wherever there's a space, you can just continue walking and just hold your hand up just so they can see you, and they'll keep coming at you. But as soon as they get close to you, they'll just go around you instead of stopping completely, because for some reason, the flow of traffic has to keep going. So they won't stop, and your job is to keep moving in the middle of busy traffic, you know. So it's a little bit difficult to understand that, yeah, I know. And what else? Oh yeah, when I was in Phnom Penh, I was a teacher. And, you know, working as a teacher compared to working as a factory worker, you know, there's a level of respect that comes with it. And being called, you know, teacher Sambo, you know, it was a good feeling, you know. So I dress up every day, wear a button-up shirt with a tie, slacks and dress shoes, sprayed on cologne every day. My hands were always clean, stayed in the aircon all day, never broke a sweat, had my laptop, you know, just, you know, everything a teacher needed, and it was a really good feeling. And not only that, I held a management job also there. So I went from teaching to managing teachers, right? So managing teachers means that I was, you know, pretty high up there in the administration, and I had like 30 teachers under me. So having 30 teachers under me, I had to manage them and counsel them. I had to fire some, you know. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I had to deal with. And I got another promotion to deputy campus director, which was like the second guy on top. And I was pretty high up there. And I never had intentions of moving to the countryside. I met my wife. With her, that was like a surprise also. It wasn't planned, you know. My uncle, he lives here in the countryside, and he spoke to my dad. He was like, hey, if your son is gonna live in Cambodia, why not get married, you know? So my dad, he called me. He was like, hey, if you're gonna stay there, you might as well get married, you know? And I was like, get married? Hell no. And then he was like, think about it. You're getting older, you know, why not start a family, you know? Then I thought about it, and I was like, okay, let's see what happens. So I came and I met my wife, and we did it the proper way, where my uncle and stuff came, you know, like the old folks, they spoke with each other, you know, and that's the proper way to do it, the traditional way to do it. And once they met, and then my wife, she at the time didn't know who I was. I had no idea who she was. The only thing I knew was that she was a vet. So we met, and it was up to her to say yes or no, right? And once I met her, I was like, she won't, she doesn't want anything to do with me, you know. I was like, whatever, I'll just continue with my single life, you know. But a week later, my cousin called me, and she was like, guess what? She said yes. And I was like, what? No way. And then she was like, yeah, she said yes. She wants to get married. And then, you know, my whole outlook, my whole perspective on everything just changed. You know, I was like, man, I'm really gonna get married. You know, she said yes. And so for Cambodians, traditional, it's a tradition to offer up a dowry to the bride's mother, you know. And so the price for that was $10,000, you know. And so I was like, sure, that's not a problem. So that's part of the engagement. Once that happens, then we can get married. But me, I was trying to postpone the marriage for a year, you know, because I was like, man, I'm not ready to get married quite yet, you know. And my wife, she checked out the fortune teller, you know, that's what they do. Fortune teller was like, you guys can't get married next year, you guys have to get married right away. So I met her in like November, and she was like, you know, we have to get married in March of next year, which was 2019, right? And so I was like, whoa, this is way too fast, you know? And I had second thoughts. But then my uncle, he was like, no, you can't have second thoughts. Everything is done. You have to get it, you have to do it, you know? And I was like, man, okay. So we got married 2018, and I told her, you know, I can't give up my job. I can't quit. And she was like, she's not gonna leave her business either. I was like, that's fine then. We made an agreement, you know, like once we get married, we'll go back to, you know, doing what we do. And that's what we did. Once we got married, I went to Phnom Penh, stayed in the countryside. And then 2020, COVID, right? COVID happened, and it was like, oh man, everything just went, you know, just went to shit. Plans went out to shit, you know, nothing was the same anymore. And that's when I decided to come to the countryside. So coming to the countryside, we were building this house at the time, and I had no idea, you know, well, I used to look at the countryside and say, man, this place has nothing. It's all empty land. There's no buildings, no stoplights, you know, anything like that. And I used to just have a negative view of the countryside. But after staying here for so long and not having the same luxuries as in the city, I have been able to appreciate life a lot more. And when I first came here to the countryside, right, man, I was like 205. I was fat, I was overweight from work, you know? Because at work, I never broke a sweat. And I used to eat a whole bunch of fast food. And oh man, like you could see it in my neck. It was like ridiculous. I was overweight, I was obese. But coming here to the countryside, I sweat every single day. Everything that I do is labor intensive. With all this stuff, the stock here, like this fertilizer, is about 110 pounds. So some customers will come and purchase about like 10 of these, and I'll have to pick them up for the customer, you know? And it's a lot of, it's heavy, you know, but it's good for you. And these, this feed right here, one bag, one sack is like 60 pounds. So same thing. Once a customer comes, I'm the one that has to load it for the customer. And then, man, I'm breaking a sweat. I'm on my feet all day, you know? I'm always walking around. And I think the first month, I lost about like 15 pounds, you know? And once I lost all that weight, everybody was like, dang, you look so much younger, you know? I'll put a picture of myself. Of when I got engaged to my wife, so that you guys could see the difference. And you won't even recognize who I was before. And I had to, that's the thing, you know, when I looked at myself at that time, that picture of me and my wife doing our pre-wedding photo, I was like, why did she even agree to marry this guy, you know, this obese guy, you know? And yeah, but coming to the countryside and meeting my wife, and I'm also here close to my relatives. And I before I never really cared to get to know my relatives or anything, you know, because you know how we, in America, we view our family in Cambodia as people who always ask us for money and this and that. But now that I'm here and I've gotten to know them better, I'm glad that I have the chance to know, you know, get to know them, see the land where my dad was born, learn about the history of our family, everything, you know, like rice, how rice is grown. I had no idea how it was grown and how much work that goes into it. I have a deeper appreciation and admiration and also respect for the farmers that do that job every single day now, because it's not easy. Like, you might look at a bowl of rice and see how many grains are in there and just think that it's, you know, something easy to grow, but it's not. There's a lot of work that goes into it. And the farmers who do it, they don't get paid much, you know. And the thing that I see with them is that they smile no matter what, you know. Even though their yield wasn't so high, or they didn't make much of a profit, or sometimes they went into debt, they still smile and they carry on and they keep moving, you know. And yeah, living in the countryside has taught me how to be more patient, how to be not so impulsive like I used to be. Because, you know, when I was in Phnom Penh working there, people have to perform. I needed things to be on time. You could say that I was strict as a teacher and as a manager. Like, the teachers that I had under me, they were afraid to call in sick. The students, they all knew who I was. They were afraid of me. They were like, that's Mr. Sambo right there. Don't mess around, because, you know, I was strict. I was by the book. And it was the same thing with the teachers, you know. They weren't used to having somebody be so strict. So yeah, it was a good thing that my team of teachers, they were, you know, in line. They took care of everything, got everything done, you know. But then I noticed that, you know, I was too strict, right? And being too strict makes people not like you, you know. And when I came here to the countryside after I resigned from the management position, guess who was the boss? My wife. I wasn't used to having somebody else tell me what to do. And my wife, she's, you know, she's a businesswoman. So she orders people around all the time. And she's used to it. But me, I'm not, I was the same way, you know. I'm ordering people around, telling them what to do all the time. Then once I get here, my wife was telling me what to do. And we, you know, we bumped heads a few times about that. And then I finally said, you know what? It's better to not fight and let her win. Because for a marriage to work and have things go smoothly, it's better to not fight with your wife. That's what I've learned, you know, with my wife. She has good intentions. And me, I'm impulsive. So it's better for me to just listen to her and let her win and just step down. All right, thanks for the question. Thanks for the new subscribers. See you guys next time.